Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus with a warning. The following video contains a review of something that is not a toy and contains no hot glue. This is the Artwork Monsters Imogen Genetic Volume 3 Deneb! This was actually provided to me by HLJ, and I want to send them many thanks for passing this along. It's from a long series, as far as I know, of quite a few of these kind of statues. I believe that Artworks also did some Orphanox and Undead, which I recall seeing in Japan, and they've, as of about a year or so ago, I believe, did the Imogen. These were fairly limited run, but are available online pretty plentifully as far as I can tell. Popping the box open, you get the statue in a couple pieces. And something you may notice is that he seems to have accessories. This statue does have minor action features, and I found that kind of intriguing. So let's fast forward to a lack of this bubble plastic. You get a pretty stocky and epic-looking Deneb figurine. One thing that I wanted to point out was that he actually can stand quite well on his own if you're not into the look of his packaged-in stand. He also smells extremely strong of plastic and paint when you pull him out of the package. The paint is nice and metallic where it's applied. Just a quick look at his face shows you a somewhat SIC-style Deneb with a little bit of a sinister touch added to his otherwise joyful and you-towing complexion. I'll just put him onto his stand now. Deneb comes on a stand with a bit of a clock motif to it, and given the edges and whatnot, I guess you could link it up to other Imogen stands if they all come at the same thing. I do wish that his sculpt was arched up a little bit more at the waist. I think this hunch-over thing it's pretty dynamic, but I wish that this was tilted up a bit. This is a little too hunched over for my liking. Now, he does have action features, which is kind of odd, and a little hint about that would be if you look under his front skirt, you see that there's a Deneb candy lollipop stored under there. You can pull that out, and he comes with 2 spare hands and a few other little things. So, his hands peg on and off quite easily, and thus are technically a point of articulation. So is his shoulder here, actually. So you can have him have it like this for shooting his Deneb fingers, or put it like that for when you want him to serve dinner, because he comes with a serving tray with some built-in chopsticks. This serving tray can be the herald of several other little things, namely some fish, a bowl of rice, and a lovely little teacup. So you can have Deneb serving this, and then if that's not enough for your servitude likes or dislikes, you can also put on his other alternate hand, which has a bent-in thumb, as he drops everything on the serving tray as well. Sadly, there's no little pegs or anything to hold these in place. You kind of just have to balance them on here. You can have him holding a Deneb candy. Just kind of frictions in place between his thumb and his palm. So, at the end of this, what you get is epic serving Deneb, who's still in a hyperkinetic epic kind of pose, only he's now offering you food! And holding the candy back, because you can't have your candy till you've had your dinner. This actually makes this model a little bit endearing to me, because while it is basically a statue, it can also be a tremendously silly statue, especially since if you shake him, he drops everything off of the tray. So overall, for the paint, for the sculpt, and for the accessories, I do have to give him some points. Sadly, I do find that he falls a little bit flat in the monetary value, though. This guy is a limited run piece, so he does cost quite a bit. I believe he costs around $55, and I think that is a bit much. I know that there are a lot of fans out there who like to collect things outside of posable toys. I know there are some people who actually prefer less posable pieces because there are no joints interfering with the sculpt. I'm not actually one of those people. However, if you are, I think you would enjoy this piece quite a bit. Also, if you're a big fan of Deno, or if you're just a big fan of Deneb and Yuto, this is a nice piece of memorabilia for that lovable pair. So those would be where my recommendations come in. It's generally a little bit too expensive, but if you really, really like Deneb, then it's worth taking a look at least. If this thing ever does go on sale, though, I would say it's pretty much worth it, because, as I said, it is a high-quality sculpt and very high-quality paint apps, so it's definitely worth spending a little bit of time to at least have a gander at. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus with his second statue review. Thanks again to HLJ for this, and always remember to eat your shiitake!